Hey, I'm Jack Maxwell. Thank you for joining me here at Jack's Place, which is really just me and you having a drink. That's all. I just had to come up with a name for it. And it's my place, so there you go. What are you drinking, by the way? If you're not familiar, all this is you and I getting together for a cocktail and some conversation. And you can ask me anything at all. And I promise I'll give you the best answer I can think of. And I will be honest with you. Because if you want to know anything, you should know it. You can probably find it out on the internet anyway. So there you go. Anything at all. And of course, we have a drink, which kind of makes it better, I think. You know, I used to do this little show where I travel around the world, and I realized then the importance of alcohol to different cultures and customs and people. And it just made it so much better. Certainly. Hi, Al. Hello, Jackie. Said, certainly not overuse. We're not talking about consumption to that degree. But just enough, just to have a good time. That's all, and to be warm to each other, like we've said before on the show. Alcohol is like a big liquid hug, and you get to the punto, they say in Spain, that point where you're just right there, which is good. So, Tracy Clemens, National Bourbon Day. That's right, it is National Bourbon Day. So I have, in honor of that. You know me, I'm a little off anyway, right? So I don't want to just do a bourbon, too simple. So I have a whiskey that's made from a bourbon mash. It's a nice Maryland whiskey, and I mixed it with some ginger. Why ginger? Well, because it's great, actually. It's a great accompaniment to whiskey because the way it complements it. It's sweet, it's hot, it's spicy, it's earthy, has a range of flavors. I love it. So there you go. What are you drinking? Brian Reed says, hey, Jack Maxwell. It's so weird. I never say my first and last name. But hi, Brian Reed. Ciao, Jack. A jalapeno margarita. Oh, says my friend. You know, I never learned how to say your name. I hope it's Kiara. Deb Ishikura. Hello, Jack. Well, what are you drinking? I saw the jalapeno margarita. But what else? It is National Bourbon Day. I just didn't want to be too on the nose with that. Sparkling cherry and black cherry fizz, says Jennifer Claire Steinman. Doing the Miami Vice look tonight. Come on, Jim. It's just a T-shirt and a sport coat. That's all. I don't know. Although Don Johnson was one of the coolest cats on TV, wasn't he? Not only in that character, anything he does, I just think he's a great actor. Way underrated, Don Johnson. Shane says, whiskey and ginger is amazing. Thank you, Shane. I'm glad you agree. I get a little grief for that once in a while. Lisa Bowen Water says, love you, Jay. Oh, thank you. You don't have to say that, but I'll probably read it if you do. Jay Riggs, I miss you on Booze Traveler. Oh, I miss you too, Jay. That was a lot of fun. Vanessa, hello from Brazil. Saúde. Tiffany Metcalf, just some Jack Daniels here. All right, Tiffany, fantastic. Dinah Lynn Barhurst, Southie, I just had some Woodford over ice. Just had. Aren't you drinking for the show? No, you're done for the night? This is my second, by the way. So Jack's got his white Ferrari parked outside, says Barry Morrison. All right, you're going to give me all the Miami Vice jokes, huh? That's all right. I can take them. Keep it coming. Hello, Jack. I love your show, says Keyshawn Harvey T. And you are all around a great person. I hope to meet you one day. Oh, thank you. I don't know if you know really I'm a great person, but thank you for thinking so. And I hope not to disappoint if we do meet. Sal Scaglione, he says, hi, Jack. A nice Appleton rum and Coke. Cheers. Oh, yeah, that is nice. Cheers to you, my friend. Anita Colburn, just a little glass of sparkling rosé for me. Oh, rosé all day or all night. Well, hey, all right, Anita. Fantastic. Larceny Barrel Pick, says Brian Reed. So there's a few things going on. As you know, we ran a contest. Donna B. Gleason. Jack, Arizona in the house. All right. Tell me the best Manhattan recipe. I love you. See, I don't like to do that. It's kind of like electioneering, telling you who to vote for. You can Google these recipes, and I want you to pick the one that you think sounds the best and experiment. You know, I could give you some recipes, but there are so many out there of all kinds of drinks. You know what it is to me? It's not the recipe. It's not even the quality of the ingredients, although why drink cheap booze if you don't have to? It's about the people you're with and what you're doing and the place. That's the setting for it all. That makes the experience that much better. Very rarely do I just sit at home and have a couple of drinks. I can't say it doesn't happen, but at the same time, being with people, doing what you want to do, that experience is enhanced by a couple of drinks. Not the other way around, I don't think. Taking a shot of Seagram's. No, don't do that for me. Dead Guy Whiskey, says Michelle. Oh, that's nice, Michelle. Thank you. Russ Bacon. Easy drinking today. A lake drink. Mango Mike's Hard Lemonade. Good stuff. Christina Maria. De Serrano Sour. Cilantro. Cilantro to you too. Come visit Charleston. Yeah, why? What's in Charleston? You want to sell me on it? Go ahead. Ken, my producer, put that up if she tries to tell me what's so great about Charleston. And it is, but I want to know what she knows is great about it. Hendrix Gin and Tonic, says Nancy Heath. What else we got? Flying in. Tracy Clemens. Started out with the Knob Creek for National Bourbon Day. Then a nice Chianti for my spaghetti and meatballs. How about some nice liver? Shane says, I love the new show on YouTube. The High Road is so fun to watch. Oh, thank you, Shane. I got to tell you about that one. Bombay Sapphire, says Diana. So I do a show on Friday nights, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, called The High Road. It's my journey through cancer and chemo and my discovery of CBD and medicinal THC. Full spectrum is what it is. And why I was so hesitant for the longest time. I was never a cannabis enthusiast, although if you are, that's cool too. For me, it was cocktails. That was my thing. And I discovered it helped me quite a bit through the whole process. And then I talked to a bunch of people around the United States who discovered it helped them too. People who weren't necessarily fans of the stuff before and then realized, yeah, it's not the horrible, bad, poisonous, crazy, against God's will, devil's weed, bad, whatever you want to call it, thing that we were told it was. So that's the High Road. Thanks for shouting that out, Shane. Donna says, on my second Grey Goose and tonic with a squeeze of lemon, I think is what you're trying to say. Where was my favorite place to go? That's a good question. I couldn't pick one. All the experiences were so different and so wonderful. You know, I loved going to Sicily because I'm Sicilian and Irish, and I got to bring my mom on that episode, and she met our family that we knew we had but never met. And you should have seen it. It was like, you know, she's not on that episode because it's not about my personal journey there. It's about the people of Sicily. It's a little town outside of Palermo called Ciamina. I believe it's where Martin Scorsese's family is from and a lot of other people. And just wonderful. My cousins, the Vanellas, are from there, of Chicago. Hello, Vanellas. Shout out to you. Not that they watch this. They're very busy. In any event, I loved it there. And my mother got to meet her family because her grandfather left Sicily and never went back there, certainly not to live. He started his family in the United States, which is one of the reasons I'm here. So that had to be, for my mother's sake alone, that had to be right up there with among my best moments, if not favorite episodes of all time. What did we do? We did 76 total episodes for Travel Channel, 73 with Booze Traveler or Booze Traveler Best Bars. Diogo Pedrotti, is that your name? I don't want to get that wrong. It looks like Diogo. Name the 3 places you miss more from Booze Traveler experiences. Hugs from south of Brazil. South of Brazil. What's south? Why not the exact location? South of Brazil. Are you hiding out? Are you in witness protection? I'm south of Brazil. I can't give you any more details than that. I don't understand the question completely. The 3 places I missed outside of Booze Traveler that have nothing to do with that. Well, I miss Boston. It's my hometown. Southie is the neighborhood in which I grew up, and it's a great city overall. And of course, you miss wherever it is you're from, I guess. You know, there were times when I was a little kid, thought I'd never leave. Then my mother moved us out to Phoenix, 1975. That's where I am now, but not for the same reason. I came here for chemo treatments. I've lived in LA for 25 years. So love Boston. I missed a lot of places on the East Coast. I miss friends down in Florida, New York City, of course, great city. Just wouldn't want to live there. And I hate the Yankees on top of that. I miss the Bay Area, San Francisco and Oakland. It's beautiful up there. Driving down the coast, Monterey, Big Sur. I miss Sedona. That's nice. Just so peaceful and energetic. And luckily I can get there in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Where do you want to go that you haven't been yet? Oh, that's a great question. There's a lot of places. I always want to go to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. That is such a bad habit. Growing up the way I did, I had a Boston accent. And, you listen to people and say things the way they say it. And we called it Puerto Rico, just like we called Lithuania. I don't know why, but as little kids, we did. Right across the street from my building in the projects, there was this big Catholic church at which I was an altar boy. And it was a Lithuanian church. But I grew up thinking it was called Lithuanian, even though it was an I. Same with Puerto Rico. My apologies. It's Puerto Rico, not Puerto Rico. So there you go. I'd like to go there, Puerto Rico. As a matter of fact, I have a little surprise in just a few minutes about Puerto Rico. By the way, I'm going to take you there virtually with a new friend of mine, and we're going to have a drink that you might never heard of. And then we'll go somewhere else too, maybe in Europe, maybe Germany. How about that for a hint? Or just south of Germany. I don't want to give it up. We're going to go to Germany. And yeah, where else would I like to go? I'd like to go to Bali. I'd like to go to Fiji. I've been to a lot of places. I'm very, very lucky that way. 6 out of 7 continents. Although I'll pass on Antarctica. Too cold. Nothing there for me. Although I love penguins. Phyllis, Stanette, Ricard, Pina Coladas in PR, Puerto Rico, are the best. Why? Why are they? For me, mojitos in Cuba were the best, but because of all the local ingredients, and it just fits so well. That's why I like it. Why do you? I just traveled to Estonia, and it was amazing. Have you ever been? Have not been to Estonia. So there are a lot of places. Poland, I've never been. I'd like to go there as well. Woohoo, Puerto Rico, let's go. That person might have something to do with the guests. Kelly says, hey, Jack, sipping on a very chilled glass of wine with my sweet hubby, Sal. Oh, that's very nice. That's a happy. How long you been married? That's really sweet. I love that. Love is great, isn't it? So is alcohol. So, Ken, what did you have you were going to pull up for me to talk about? What about the DR? Let's go. Yeah, great baseball players from the Dominican Republic, including one of my favorite, Big Papi. We're going to talk about something else. What is? Oh, yes, the virtual road trip contest. So these two guys you're going to meet, we're going to go to those two places I just told you about. They come from a contest we ran earlier in the week called the Virtual Road Trip Contest. And this is what it's all about. Since we can't travel now, certainly we can, but not as freely as we used to. And because I used to do this show called Booze Traveler, where we would travel and have drinks and explore culture and places and people, would like to do that for you in the only way we can right now. If you send in your video saying where you'd like to go to this email address right here, where you'd like to go with me to have a drink and why, the shorter the better, make it clever, funny, interesting, high energy, however you want to do it. We're going to narrow it down to the top 4, and then we're going to send it back to you and let you vote. How about that? You say you want to travel, you want to have a drink? All right, put your money on the table, drive it off the lot. Let's see those videos. Make them good and not too long. And then we'll pick 4, we being me and my producer, Ken. Say hi, Ken. Can you pop in and say hi? You know Ken from other things I do. No, that's not Ken. There he is.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Ken. Say good night, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. And he's also a fan of tippling. What are you drinking there, Ken?
I've got a corn and oil, which is a Barbados rum cocktail that's very, very old and very amazing.
And by the way, he has to do all the technical stuff while he drinks. So how about a hand? How about a hand for Ken for everything he's doing? Thank you, my man. All right, so that's it. So you send it in right here to this email address, your video of where you want to go to have a drink. Anywhere on earth, doesn't matter. And then the people will decide the winner. Because it was the first week and the voting was close and these two guys are great, we picked 2 winners just to give you a little taste and to show you what it's all about. So why don't we bring them in? You can keep asking questions, and you can also keep commenting. But let's take them one at a time. So number 1 is a guy named Pat. And he says that he loves Kolsch. That's Kolsch. with an umlaut over the O. That's how you spell it. From Cologne, Germany. Now, if you're within 50 meters or 30 miles of Cologne, then you can call it a Kolsch, even if you make it the exact same way, because of the PGI is what it's called, right? I think it's the protected geographical indication, much like tequila has or champagne. I don't know why, if it's from Cologne, they don't just call it. Oh, I know why. Okay, of course. That's already Nick for that. Anyway, he's going to tell us all about it. He loves it so much. His name is Pat. Say hi to Pat.
Howdy, everybody. Yeah, I fell in love with a lady from Cologne, my beautiful and talented Shotzi, and then she introduced me to the
Is
town.
she the one over your left shoulder?
Yeah, she's back there. Wave hi, babe.
The way she sits, she looks like she's either the devil or the angel on your shoulder. She's probably been both.
She's both.
I'm both.
She's both. Really.
Hello there.
I went there, and when you were talking before, it's about the people. They're really great people, very open. We go around. We walk into they call the local bars the Beat Shop. You walk in there for the first time, and you speak a little German, you speak a little Kolsch. It's all good. And you start having a few Kolsch, and they start talking, and by the shank of the evening, depending on how many Kolsch you had, you start singing. And it's a place where it just warms your heart, and they welcome everybody. It's a beautiful town.
That's what I love about everywhere I go. It's always the people. And the more welcoming, the more warm they are, the better time I have. That's it. It's never been about the mountains and the monuments and the museums. Always about the people. So that being said, of course, we'll put that aside for half a minute, and we'll focus on the Kolsch for those who haven't heard of it. Now, it's top fermented like an ale would be, but it's cold conditioned like a lager. It's very special, of course. And the Reinheitsgebot is the what is it? The pure order. I don't know the exact translation, but basically it's the German brewery laws, and it has to be water, barley, and hops. They didn't even consider yeast back in the day because they figured that was just part of the process. Barley, hops, yeast, and of course water. You take it from there, Pat.
Okay, well, the Kolsch is brewed. It's served unlike any other beer, and it throws a lot of Amis off, and that's what they call us all as Amis, because it's served in a 2 centiliter glass. But it's intended to be drank quickly while it's cold, not warm, and it gets served with a little head on it. And the kubis, you go into a brow house, the guy or gal that brings you the beer is called a kubis. They'll bring it, set it down on your little coaster there, and put a little check mark on it. And as long as you're sitting there and that glass is still sitting on that coaster, thank you, they'll keep bringing them to you. And they just keep putting a pencil mark on it. And they're usually a little bit, how should we say?
Generous?
Yeah, they're good. I think my friend, we went to one time with Reisdorf, and he wanted, it's a special drink they drink there sometimes. It's like half Coke, half Kolsch. And he called it a Mädchen beer. He wouldn't even hand it to him. He says, "Here, you take it." Mädchen's a word for little girl.
Okay, enough of the beer talk. That's wonderful. How'd you meet your wife? I love that story.
Okay, we met the old-fashioned way, online.
No. How long have you been married?
I should know this.
Yes.
8 years.
No.
8 years coming up this October 1st.
She just left to go divorce you. No, she's still there. You don't have to look. October 1st, was it at Oktoberfest in Cologne that you met her?
No, I was looking around online and found this beautiful and tantalizing young lady looking from behind her hair as it hung down over half her face. And I said, I want to talk to her. So I sent her a message, and she finally got back to me after she got back from a trip to the States. And by this time I was living in California, and I didn't want to date anybody long distance. So, of course, I got to pick out somebody who lives in Cologne, Germany, right? So we start emailing back and forth, and then it's, yeah, I'd like to talk to you. And we start talking back and forth, and then it's, once a week, and then it's a couple times a week, and then we're talking pretty much every day, Skyping and everything. And finally, we made a plan to meet. So she flies into San Francisco, and everybody's telling her, "What's wrong with you? This guy could be an axe murderer. You don't know this guy." Well, I wasn't an axe murderer, fortunately, but I picked her up at the airport, and just at the time, my brother was a range master for a range just south of the airport, so she wasn't out of customs an hour, and she was put in let down range because she said she was a redneck girl. She loves country music. Mm. And then I chose a hotel for us that, well, let's just say when we walked in and the stain on the floor, the only thing was missing was a chalk outline. And she didn't run for the hills. Wow, and then I had to remind her, yeah, I forgot. This is the weekend I promised my sister I was going to help her rebuild her fence. So she basically gets just gets thrown into it, meets the whole family over the weekend, right? Of course, they all fell in love with her. She's the best thing since sliced bread.
And 8 years later, you're still married. Congratulations. Pat, can you stick around? You and your lovely wife can stick around for a minute?
You betcha.
Okay, so we just showed you some pictures from Cologne, Germany, and we talked about Kolsch, and that's where Pat would like to go, and that's how it works. You just send in a video where you'd like to go, what you'd like to drink. We'll handle the rest. We'll put up a couple of pictures, and we'll go there. What's your favorite thing about Germany, Pat? And then I'll ask you to hang on for a second.
Well, it comes down to two things: the people and the beer. Well, three things: the people, the beer, and the food.
Last question: if you could recommend someone that wanted to go to Germany, recommend a place they would go to have the best time, where exactly would they go? Call it out.
Cologne, November 11th.
Why November 11th? Or is that the name of a place?
Carnival season.
So okay, there you go.
Everybody's in town. They've all got their costumes on. There's parades going by. You're hollering, "Hey, Carmela!" They're throwing out candy to you. Everybody's drinking Kolsch. They're singing. Everybody's having a great time. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before in my life, Jack. It's awesome.
All right, I'm going to ask you to hold on. We're going to get to our next guy, and then you're going to sing for us. Okay, number two. Oh, not number two, just the next winner. That's all. How about that?
That's all right. That's all right.
So this guy had such a fun video. I just knew he was going to be up there for sure. He had lots of energy. He just loves his place where he's from. He loves his land. He loves his drink. He loves his family. And he also serves in the U.S. Army or did actually. I don't know if you still do. You still do?
Still, I served in the U.S. Army, yes.
And today is the Army's birthday, so congratulations to that. We'll raise one to the Army and to you. And tell us about Pitoro and Puerto Rico.
All right. So first of all, if a lot of you don't know, Puerto Rico is a part of the United States of America, and it's one of the greatest places to visit on earth. One of the great things about Puerto Rico is the culture. Okay, you're gonna find so much to do in Puerto Rico, and what's crazy is it's such a small island. This is only 100 by 35 miles, and yet this island has so much to offer when it comes to the culture, when it comes to music, the food, the people, the drinks, cigars, everything. And it's just a great time. And just everything about it is lovely out there. I mean, I what can I say? You know, my family's from Puerto Rico. I was actually born in Boston. I'm originally from Lawrence, Massachusetts, and I was raised in Puerto Rico with my father, who lives out there in Juanadía, Puerto Rico, which is where I'm from.
I love that you love it so much. That's why I said you love your land. Of course, you're from the United States because Puerto Rico is part of that, of course. Tell us this picture we're looking at and how hard it is to get to that bar.
Wow. So this restaurant right here, this is called Aventura 4x4. It's a great restaurant in Coamo, Puerto Rico, which is the next town over from my town, from Juanadía, in the southern part of the island. The great thing about this restaurant is that if you go there in any vehicle besides a 4x4, they are not gonna let you go up the trail into this restaurant because you're just not gonna make it. So in order to go to this restaurant, you better hope you have a Jeep or some sort of 4x4 that'll get you up there, a Tacoma or something. And it's great times once you make it up there. The views are spectacular.
I can imagine.
awesome music. You know, the more of that culture.
Well, I hope to get there someday, and maybe we can all meet there. Same with Cologne, Germany. I've been to Germany, never Cologne. Really, maybe we drove through when I was doing the show, but certainly not Puerto Rico. And I'm dying to go. But tell us about Pitoro, otherwise known as Canita, Petrinche, and my favorite, Lagrime de Monte, Tears of the Mountain.
Lágrimas del Monte. That's right. So,
Tell us about
he
that.
said it, he said, and my wife was just amazed at the fact that you just said that. So, yeah. So pitorro is one of probably the oldest traditional drinks from Puerto Rico, and it actually comes from sugarcane. So this has been a tradition that has been around the island for so long. And while you can find pitorro in places, you know, in different locations, whether it be the airport or whatnot, at the end of the day, the real pitorro, which is the traditional pitorro, this is basically the moonshine rum of the island. And this has been around for a long time. And the way they ferment it, as you see in the picture right there, after they put it through the distilled process, they pretty much soak it in different fruits, whatever fruits are in season. Or even my wife let me know that they sometimes hollow out a coconut and put the pitorro inside the coconut, bury it. And most of the time, this is a drink that's pulled out during Christmas time, like the and when I say Christmas time, remember, Puerto Rico has the longest Christmas in the world. Basically, they're celebrating Christmas from November all the way into, I want to say January, but it feels like it's March.
I don't
But
mind that because I was born on Christmas, so that's
there you go. There
that's
you go.
okay by me. Now you might ask, if it's rum, why did they have to call this moonshine rum? And I tell you why. Much like a lot of traditional moonshines, it's about 40 to 50 to sometimes 60 or even 70% alcohol. It'll burn a hole right in your throat. Why is it so strong, De Leon? By the way, that's his last name. His name is Carlos De Leon. He likes De Leon, so we'll call him that. Why? Tell us why.
So, as far as the reason why it is so strong, I would have to say that it's because of the sugar cane. The fact that they use sugar cane and the fact that they put it through this fermentation process, and they let it sit for such a nice long time, and it's just I don't even know how to explain that part right there, but I can tell you that it's just a great drink. And it's pretty much, a lot of people misconstrue the fact that people think when it comes time to Puerto Ricans and Christmas time, people think that Puerto Ricans are more about coquito, which is that almost like that eggnog looking drink. And while it's a great drink in Puerto Rico, the real traditional drink of the island when it comes to Christmas time is pitorro.
Now tell us about Añasco, Puerto Rico, because that town is famous, or rather infamous, for this pitorro. Why? And that's A-N with the tilde over the N, A-S-C-O, if anybody wants to look that up. Go ahead.
That's right. So when it comes to places like, and I wouldn't say just Añasco, I would say there's plenty of places within the mountains of Puerto Rico that are just known for it's like I said, it's a moonshine. So, you know, this has always been a more clandestine, you know, without putting so much emphasis into that, because they really don't put that much emphasis to it on the island. But it's just, it's known to be made in places like in the countryside, in the mountains, places like Añasco, places like Peñuela, places, just different places. And another thing is that the sugarcane, as you heard me talk about earlier, at one point sugarcane was the number one thing that was produced out of the island for a long time. So now, you know, this is not like back in the day. So, you know, pitorro comes to be much more special and exclusive to get your hands on.
Wait a minute. Did you say you're still in the Army?
No. I am no longer in the Army.
Of course not, because why the beard? I misheard.
No. That would mean I would have a massive profile.
Yeah. On the internet, it's hard to make everything out all the time. But Thank you. But so, by the way, we know Pat and De Leon from the virtual road trip contest. All you have to do is tell me where you want to go have a drink with me. That's it. We'll narrow it down to 4 videos. You email them to right here. And if you saw their videos, go back and check them out. Pat was passionate about his Kolsch. You could tell he loved it. De Leon is a character and a half. He has so much fun to his personality. He's so big, and he loves Puerto Rico, where he's from, and he loves the drink and all of that. So they were the 2 winners. You might be the next one. Make a video, make it fun and exciting, and not too long. And then you email it right there to SouthieJackAZ@gmail.com. And by the way, right when this ends, I think it starts right at the top of the hour. What time is that? So we're halfway through the show, roughly. Sometimes I go long. Right at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, the contest we're going to show you the next 4 videos, and you get to vote on those, and then send in your own. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's my producer saying the next contest will be released right after this show. Can you hang on a second, De Leon?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, you have your lovely wife with you.
That's my beautiful wife
She's
right there.
right next to you. What's your name?
So she can't hear you because I got the headphones on. I guess I'm hogging them right now. But her name is Jalissa. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can share the headphones. Let's see.
Hi, Jalissa.
Hi, he's hogging the camera. Hang on.
There you go.
You did win. I didn't see you on the video.
He got that too. Because honestly, I'm the Bruce Traveler one that got him on.
She did. She got me hooked on your show. So I gotta give her that.
Yes, I am.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Pat's pointing to his wife too. Well, I'm happy to hear that. So, how long you two been? Forget about this show. That's okay. That's in the past. We all loved it. It was fun. It was great to travel and all of that. But I'm interested in you. How long were you two married?
We are going on 21 years.
Yes.
Wow!
21 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank
What's
you.
the secret?
Okay, shut up.
It's called alcohol.
No, we just, I don't know. We were together while we were in the, when I joined the Army, and she was by my side through everything, through 2 deployments, and just everything, always there for me. So, we were there for each other, for our kids. We have 2 beautiful kids, a son that's in college right now, getting ready to graduate this year, 13-year-old daughter. And, we keep grinding. That's what we love doing.
That's wonderful. Where are you from, Jalissa? Did I say right, Jalissa?
Yeah. So I was born in Puerto Rico, and I was raised in New Jersey. So
I've never been. I've always wanted to go. It's such a beautiful island, and it's been beset by so much tragedy. And unfortunately, we acted slowly, if at all, in that, without bringing up these, obviously, the horrible tragedies, but and natural tragedies as well. But in any event, I hope it comes back to where it was before, so that you feel that it was not only taken care of, but that you can have pride and joy when you go back there again. Because with so much devastation, I know it's gotta hurt your heart a little bit. I know it would me if that was where I grew up. So hopefully it comes back better than ever, and I'm sure it will.
I gotta say, one thing that I'm amazed at is our people came together, and they've come far. They've become a very, very strong culture. So I'm proud of that. Our people are amazing.
We've had people go out there and just put together what do you call that, relief missions to the island during the earthquakes that were going on, and it's just been amazing seeing. We were able to go out there and help out. But what was great about while we were out there, we were noticing the same people from the island, my family, we were all transporting things down to places like Guanica, where they were getting hit a little harder with the earthquakes. And it was just amazing seeing all the vehicles lined up coming from different parts of the island. And again, this is an island that is only 100 by 35 miles. And the fact that they are willing to just leave their location to just go and help out is just amazing.
Well, your people is our people. We're all Americans. So cheers to that.
Absolutely. Salud.
Let me tell you the first time I even heard of Puerto Rico and wanted to go there. There was a line from a movie, West Side Story.
Oh, nice.
and they're singing and dancing, and it's so wonderful. It's so different than anything that I knew, of course. And he says, well, I would be a star in San Juan. And she says, I know a boat you can get on.
Yeah.
They go back there. And it's just, oh, what wonderful story. One of the great musicals of all time. I'm not big on musicals usually, but that was just a great one. So thank you. Thank you both, not only for taking us to Puerto Rico, but for your love and your passion of the place and Pitoro. So, by the way, is it hard to get Pitoro? Because I'd like to try some.
Not at all.
We know someone. He's got
We know a guy.
flavors.
We know a guy.
Okay?
We know a guy who knows a guy.
There's a difference.
We know a guy.
Absolutely.
We know a guy.
So basically, if we were to go to that restaurant in Coamo, Puerto Rico, I would make sure 100% that we would have some pitoro up there in that
And
restaurant.
we got a couple flavors too.
Yeah.
And you got a vehicle we can get there in?
Oh
yeah.
yes. Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And
We got
how
more
would we
than
get? How would we get there? Do you know a boat we can get on?
Hey, once this is all over, we can definitely figure everything out. But once we're there, my family takes care of us, so we're gonna make sure. No.
I would love to do that. You have my email address, so please let's stay in touch, okay?
Absolutely,
All right,
absolutely.
awesome.
Cheers to you both.
Salud.
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 Prost.
Cheers. Prost.
And Pat says broast. So Pat, you're pointing back to your wife. She was the
Yeah.
one that got you interested in travel. Is that it?
Well, yeah. I mean, she coming from Germany. She's been all over Europe. She used to work for a travel agency, and the only places I ever really went outside of the States was with the military, with the Army. Which, by the way, you had 2 Army guys on today with the Army birthday.
Thank you for your service, and same not only to you but to De Leon. Here you are, sir. Thank you both for your service.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Pat. Thank you for your support.
2 Army guys on the Army's birthday. Complete coincidence. They just did in
245.
videos. What's that?
245 years old.
It doesn't look a day over 150.
Not at all.
Well, that's wonderful because it was pure coincidence. But what a day to celebrate. Pat, when you met your wife in Germany, oh, excuse me, you met her here, but she's a German. There's there are some drawbacks to someone from another place, culturally, language, understanding, little colloquialisms. How'd you get past all that?
Well, thankfully, she speaks English very, very well.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
She had a fondness for the States when she was a young girl. Like I said, she loves country music, so that helped a lot because the only German I remembered from my time in Germany in the Army was enough to order a beer and get my face slapped. So she has helped me along that way very well. But she's told me she's done translating. It's my turn now. I gotta pick up the ball and learn some more German.
Oh, sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ein bisschen. Ich arbeite an mein Deutsch. Jeden Tag.
Es gibt kein Schulen als bei einem Frühling.
Ich bin De Leon.
What?
Ah, and De Leon too.
Can you repeat that? What did you say?
She didn't hear what you said, Jack. What'd you say?
I can't hear what she's saying. She's hiding in the back. But that's okay. I'm probably saying it wrong anyway. I was saying there's nothing like Bavaria in the spring.
But there's so many other places, Jack. It's not only Bavaria. You gotta come see us. We're gonna be there in September for 3 months. Come on over.
Oh, okay. I love Bavaria. You know, with we had this in the Black Forest, and we had this cake made with this cherry liqueur. Oh, it's just so wonderful.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
When you were there, yeah.
But I loved all of Germany. There wasn't a part of it I didn't love. Well, I want to thank you both. Actually, thank all 4 of you. We thought it was 2 and expanded to 4, and that was great. And what's Pat? What's your wife's name? Tina. Pat and Tina and De Leon, Carlos and Julissa. Thank you so much for joining us and for showing us a little bit about not only the places you love, but the drinks you love.
Thank you, familia. Salud.
Prost. Cheers.
Bros.
Cheers to health and good drinks.
To your health. Bye, folks. We'll talk to you soon. All right, stick around though. I'm not going anywhere. I talk like I'm going into a commercial break. Stick around. There is none. There is none. How about this? Any questions, comments, or anything like that? Otherwise, send in your videos, because right at the top of the hour, you'll see the 4. You'll see how it's done, and then we'll vote on those. And you send them right here, okay? How about that? I'll let you go make your videos. We'll see you next week right here on Jack's Place. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Time to stop drinking or drink a little more. Cheers.